tell you, it feels like it was just yesterday that I was here in 1985 celebrating the 30th anniversary of the park. And I don't mean like here in Disneyland, I mean like right here in this space when this was Videopolis. Oh yeah, we're playing Duran Duran. I'm not here doing this. The 80s is the best music. You have favorite 80s bands? Your favorite 80s bands? Who? Journey? Michael Jackson? Who? Tears for Fears? Alright, all I hear now is noise. And I don't mean you, I mean the music they actually play today. And it's all just gonna go in one direction. I mean, there's literally... I gotta tell you, I'm a big fan of 80s music. I love 80s music. My favorite band from the 80s was and is still Oingo Boingo. I have to tell you my 80s band story. Okay, so I wanted to go see Oingo Boingo, and they were like playing in Europe for a little while, and I didn't want to go all the way to Berlin. So I figured this is a big country, I'll just go west. Now my friend Frankie goes to Hollywood a lot. He likes to relax at the beach and feed a flock of seagulls. And he couldn't go. He couldn't leave till Tuesday. So I thought, well, who else can I invite on this journey? So I invited, the Smiths and the Thompson twins, the whole motley crew. And we didn't want to just, take the cars. We all wanted to ride together, So we thought, we'd get a cab all together. And so we went out, we're, trying to, hail a cab, just out there doing a little, cab hailing. And of course, all the cabs are too small, so we needed a van. So really, we're just out there, van. It's a long way to get to that one, I know. So now, one of the Smiths, this guy Morris, he wanted to go. It was sad. His dog had just died. He wanted to get a new dog. So, I thought, okay, well, let's let him. So I said, come on, let's go to the pet shop, boys. And he wanted to get, a dog that barks, goes bow, wow, wow. And it turns out we went to this very exotic pet shop. It was very strange. They didn't have like dogs and fish and birds and stuff like that. They had very exotic animals. They had a leopard, for crying out loud. You'd think that would be very expensive, but it was not an expensive leopard at all. Apparently it had a lot of hearing loss. It was a deaf leopard. They also had these monkeys, these blow monkeys. I don't know what blow monkeys are, but they were really cute. They wanted to take one home, but they weren't that expensive. But to feed them, apparently, is very expensive. They eat a lot of bananas, like a crate of bananas. I mean, they eat bananas in excess. They ate so many bananas, it's literally a banana-rama. Okay, that one was even more of a stretch than Van Halen, I know. All right, so this was cool. So I met this girl there, this cute little blondie, and it was just like, so I asked her, we get to talking. I say, what do you do? And she says she's a hairdresser. I'm like, awesome, cool, because I want to get my mullet trimmed. And I said, well, how much for a haircut? $100? That's madness. Well. It turns out she needed the money. She was in very dire straits. She's from Skid Row. And she told me the reason she was there, she had this twisted sister. I said, you too? Apparently at this pet shop, they had bought a white snake that had bit her. And they needed the cure for the poison. Because it meant the difference of her being dead or alive. So, we let them do that. So we finally get to the club. So it was a very exclusive club where we were going to see the band. It wasn't open to the general public, but it was a culture club. There wasn't a lot of culture there. I mean, I'm sure everybody spoke modern English, but all they did was talk. I mean, just a bunch of talking heads, really simple lines, and I didn't really, want to go there at that point, but I figured, when in Rome. So anyway, there were these guys there who really didn't want us there. They wanted to kick us out. They were ready to fight. I mean, these guys, there were these men without hats, but they were wearing these very psychedelic furs, which is weird because I guess normally they're very normally dressed during the day. I guess they were just these men at work at the power station, but at night they become these real beastie boys, and they wanted to kick us out. And they wanted to fight, and I didn't really want to. I was kind of yellow, and there was nothing we could do. We had, they were going to fight us, so we had to do it. The Clash was insane. There were guns and roses and all these violent femmes. It was not a quiet riot, okay? Let me put it that way. And all of a sudden, wham! The police came. They said it was a sting. They had a warrant. They were going to arrest us, and I knew they were not going to put us in a soft cell. It was going to be all Metallica. And, I knew the fix was in. And so they wanted to know, who did I know? Who let me in here? And I said, I'm not going to rat anybody out. And it turns out they were just looking for some missing persons. I said, who's missing? They said, you guys are. And they threw us right out. I couldn't believe it. It was all, just a big ploy so we wouldn't be in the club. And I went, aha! They were cops. They were pretenders. What a cheap trick. I know there were parts of that story that hurt a lot. You're like, oh, gag me spin, the bag your story. I'm so shocked. So if you didn't like it, I've got something now that's going to cheer you all right up. You're going to love this. In the 80s, we had some of the greatest detectives of all time. We had Axel Foley, Magnum P.I., Remington Steele, Cagney and Lacey, Hardcastle and McCormick, David Addison and Matty Hayes, Simon and Simon, The Scarecrow and Mrs. King, Tango and Cash, Riggs and Murtaugh, Crockett and Tubbs, Turner and Hooch, and we had the Great Mouse Detective. Well, tonight we have the greatest mouse detective. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the stage, Minnie Mouse! Minnie, so great to see you. You always look so, well, detective-y. But you look great. You pick an outfit, it works for you, I love it. So everything tonight is the 80s. I mean, you have to love the 80s, don't you? I know you do. I love the 80s. Now, we were just talking about some 80s music, and we were talking about some of the 80s TV shows, the 80s detectives. And I love the 80s movies. You have to love the 80s movies, right? They don't make movies now like they made in the 80s. I mean, come on. You're not going to see movies like that now. I mean, in the 80s, we had RoboCop, and Annie, and Footloose, and Terminator, and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and Tron, and Red Dawn, and Clash of the Titans, 21 Jump Street. We even had Star Wars sequels back then. I mean, you're not going to get stuff like that now. Wait a minute. It's just the 80s all over again, isn't it? All right, well then, you know what? I mean, since, it looks like, the future is now, I think we should just bring more of the future out now, because we're here not just to talk about the 80s. We're here because you are all benefiting CHOP, Children's Hospital of Orange County. So with that, we would like to bring out John Storbeck. He's the Vice President of Resorts and Downtown Disney Alley.
Dates back to 1960, when Walt Disney himself first served on the CHOP Executive Council. Now since then, CHOP Children's has been ranked one of the top children's hospitals by U.S. News and World Report for their outstanding efforts in the areas of advocacy, outreach, and research. CHOP has also touched the hearts of many of our cast members whose lives have been affected both directly and indirectly from their outstanding doctors, nurses, and staff. And today, we are excited to be joined by two of their staffers, Zach and Lisa. And might I add, if there were an award for Best Dressed, wouldn't they get that? Thank you, Zach and Lisa, for all the work that you do at CHOP and to create happiness for the children that stay with you. And we have a little surprise for you. So Dylan, would you like to join us back out here?
Thank you, Dylan. And thank all of you for being out here tonight and participating in Minnie's Moonlit Madness. Because of your generosity, we have a little special check presentation for you. So Zach and Lisa, on behalf of the Disneyland Resort and the Disneyland cast members and the Imagineers, we'd like to present CHOP Children with a check for $10,000.
John, Allie, Dylan, all the cast members, on behalf of CHOP Children's and the family we serve, we are so grateful and honored to be here tonight, to be part of this special, special evening, and to receive this incredibly generous gift from the cast members. We truly love our relationship that we have at the park. It truly is a partnership, and it's because of you that we're able to do the great work that we do in the community. Thank you.
Let's give another round of applause for John, Allie, Zach, and Lisa. And again to all of you for everything you've done for tonight for CHOP and everything you're about to do, because we're about ready to get this started now. Minnie, yeah, I know. Before we get this started, you have to go and dust for Prince. About half of them, I think.